Hello, my people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is going to be about how I. Hey! P.S. This is like the only water that tastes like water from home. As I was saying, this video is going to be about how I got into the African Leadership. I don't know if you guys are gonna see it well, but anyway, it's about how I got into the African Leadership Academy, which is based in Johannesburg, South Africa, in a place called Honeydew. Yeah, it's a very, very, very profound school, I could say, and it has led to many of the good things that I can call my sources of happiness today. And so, without further ado, let's get into that. And yeah. So, ALA is a leadership academy based in Johannesburg, South Africa, as I just said. One of the issues that ALA addresses is the need for good leadership, as well as the need for very high level education on the continent that is infused with leadership, entrepreneurship, and African studies, just to better equip young people to become more, if I may say, more qualified leaders in terms of the things that we need to address on the continent. Now that I'm done with that sermon, let me say really truly what ALA was for me. ALA was the opportunity for me to network and meet very, very brilliant people. It was also a space for me to grow in terms of my emotional intelligence, as well as my, oh my god, intellectually. Whoa, math and physics. I shall not say anything about math and physics, just because personally there were personal things that distracted me from the math and physics of math and physics. Just like any other school, ALA still has a very long way to go to maximize on the potential it has, relative to the thing that it stands for and everything. However, I think it's important to note that for a school that has been open for around 10 years with such an ambitious goal, I think it's doing quite well, or at the very least, I think it did well for me. Why I'm also choosing to talk about this is because I feel like more and more people should join the ALA network, not only as a student, but as a faculty member, as a staff member. If you have a good business idea that you feel like you should, kind of not only get exposure to that word, but if you also feel like you need funding, or even, as I said, the network, the Anzisha Prize that's commonly hosted by ALA is a brilliant platform for you to just get your business out there, especially if it's one that's geared to addressing social needs or concerns. ALA's model accommodates so many type of people. If you're a gap year student, if you're just a normal student, which is what I did, and if you also want to intern or work there, it's a good opportunity for you, at the very least, to meet people. Because I feel like half of the reason I think ALA has benefited me the most is for the people. The people are amazing. If you are someone who is also very well funded, if you're rich, feel free to donate to any of ALA's programs or whatnot, or even sponsor someone, because I was on scholarship, and if it was not for the sponsorship that I received, I would not be there. I would not have gone. That simple. I'm going to talk about how I led to ALA in terms of events, and also probably the things in my application that I feel, in my personal opinion, and just in my telepathic skills of feeling applications. Feeling and feeling. Get? No? In that sense, I'm going to talk about what I feel led me to get into ALA. So in terms of consecutive events, I was homeschooled by myself till the age of 16, when I decided to sit for my IGCSE certificate as a private candidate. I self-studied, and through that, I got to finish high school at a much younger age. And so I was able to take sort of a gap year before I choose to, go for my A-levels. And during that gap year, I really got involved in a lot of volunteering work. I also got to shadow a lot of what my mom did as a social worker. At the same time, I think I also got to shadow my sister Hanim, because as I've mentioned before in this YouTube channel, Hanim is a brilliant person, especially when it comes to business. Through my gap year, I really got exposed to the things that can come from and lead to entrepreneurship, as well as I discovered my passion for development. I really, really wanted to get into development from that time. I didn't know how to, but that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm in a different continent trying to study things that can possibly enrich my community. Yeah. In that gap year, I attended a lot of conferences that basically discussed issues that I care about, like women empowerment and urban development, as well as just general sustainable growth towards, achieving a lot of goals that we had set out as a country, Kenya, for those who are new to the channel. Keep in mind that in this whole process, I was really looking for an A-level program that is not expensive, because A-level is so expensive in Kenya. I'm not sure how much it is around the continent, or better yet, around the world, but it's pricey in Kenya. And so one of the reasons I chose to go for a self-study program is because it was so much cheaper, as well as I could study at night. And so that led to me looking for a lot of programs that could be able to sponsor me for my A-level education, which was completely unsuccessful. However, during one of these conferences I would attend with my mom and my sister, I remember the event was by Eddie Okech, which I'll put the link to his website or whatever down below, who is an ALA grad who has recently ran for parliament in Kenya, and also obviously attended ALA. But that day he was launching one of his initiatives, and I was there, and I got to really interact with amazing people. And through that, my sister actually got to interact with someone, and in that he mentioned that he worked in a leadership school that offered the A-level program. And through this, I don't even know how my sister kind of just like snatched me from the crowd. I don't even know who I was talking to, but she basically told me, Hajar, there's this opportunity. It's a leadership school and it has A-levels, and they might offer a scholarship. And so I was like, oh my God, it's like leadership and entrepreneurship, as well as an A-level curriculum, which is basically, I think, I love the Kenyan curriculum, but I was already on that track for the British system. So just finding an opportunity like that, honestly, was just, I don't know, till this day, I just feel like, I think that was one of the most lucky things ever. I don't even know how to explain it. So I was eventually introduced by my sister to the guy she was speaking to, and I don't know if that's English. And throughout, like, just talking to him, I realized that the school had a brilliant program, and it was in South Africa. Anyone who knows me knows I'm so obsessed with South Africa, and so I took gospel choir. I don't know about other people, but who ended up in ALA, but for me, I know that there were very many moments where like things were just clicking in that conversation. And that man is Mr. Frank Aswani, and I think I owe my first impression, my amazing first impression of ALA, to Mr. Frank Aswani, who was a former head of strategic relations at ALA, I think. And so yes, he's a very brilliant man. And so through speaking with Mr. Frank Aswani, he directed me to the admissions team, and then I was told about the application process. And so when time came for applying, I obviously applied, and then by God's grace, I got in. Yay! It was really, really cool. And at ALA, I got the opportunity to really do things that I feel would not have been possible without being on campus or in the program, such as meeting some of my best friends till this day. The second thing I think happened in ALA is I got to really explore my leadership potential, such as when I served as the chairlady of the student government, which was a massive learning experience for me. I'd never really taken up such a huge leadership role, and just based on how much we achieved and did not achieve, I learned a lot about how really complex leadership is through ALA, and just a lot of the opportunities that it has and a lot of the coaching that it can provide. I was exposed to the University of Notre Dame, and I am here. So yeah, I really quite like the program, and I'm gonna add that not all schools are perfect, and ALA is one of them. However, I feel like if you watch this video and you know that you have that capacity in you to work to work in an environment that stands for leadership and or entrepreneurship, or you want to study in such a space or donate to such a space, I think this is a good opportunity for you, because at the end of the day, you don't want perfect, you just want progress. And so, yeah, that's how those are the events that led me to ALA. And in terms of the application, you can check online, and I believe that it has a series of essays. It requires transcripts. It also requires a few recommendations, as well as an interview if you progress to the finalist stage before you get accepted. And so through that stage, I have no idea obviously you can never know. However, I think it's important to know that when applying to ALA, if you want to apply, or this is what I feel got me in. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what got me in. But I know that I put my all into those essays. I really spoke about my goals, and I knew it was a space where I could really just dream on a piece of paper. So I really went all out with my ambitions. I didn't hold back, as well as the fact that I also sought a lot of feedback from my teachers, from my mom, from my peers. They gave me massive amounts of feedback from my essays, and that really helped my application process personally. So I'm not gonna lie, ALA takes highly performing individuals. I don't know how I got into that pool, because when you get a good grade, low-key, luck did a lot of things in there. And so I could say that my transcripts really helped. Something I think that also helped with ALA's application process, especially during the finalist weekend, was confidence. I did not hold back from what I knew I could achieve, from what I knew was really in me and therefore had to communicate. I think just overall confidence really strengthened my application, both in person and my written application. And so I really believe that through all that, something I also feel that got me into ALA was opportunity. The opportunity to even learn about ALA in the first place. Therefore, if you're willing to get it into the, let's say, development world or the social, I don't know, if you really want to get in on projects that address social issues, especially if you see yourself as being someone who can be a tool of that change, it's important to network and to go for conferences and to just really explore many scenes, gatherings, conversations, and people who can help you learn a lot about what you can do and how you can get involved. So in that sense, I think it's important that I note that I'm going to put the link for ALA's website down below. If you know someone between the ages of 16 to 19 who should apply, who has the potential to deliver a lot of change in the continent, if you know that someone has that ambition in them to kind of address a social need in their community, or better yet, has done it, feel free to let them know about ALA. If you're one of them, all I can say is just go for it. Half of the progress is in going for it. In that same sense, I could say that's exactly how I ended up at the University of Notre Dame. And that's exactly how I'm probably gonna go wherever God takes me. Because I feel like if you just have confidence in your abilities, and obviously the capacity to constantly work on them, I believe that you can not only be able to achieve ALA or any other similar opportunity, but I think you can be able to achieve much more. If you have any questions really about ALA, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram accounts at Hope Hajir. Feel free to also email anyone in the admissions team in ALA, and you can find any and all contacts you need on the website. And if you are someone who went to ALA, is going to ALA, or is in ALA, luta continua. Just keep going. Yes. So that is all for today. I just feel like I needed to get that out of my chest, because God knows a lot of in my life right now has come from that opportunity, and I would be amazingly happy to know that someone else can be able to have this opportunity in terms of their education or career, or just Yes. So yes, that is all for today. And so till next time, bye bye.